defeats on his record. The referee, officially appointed by the WBC, is from Mexico, Jose Guadalupe Garcia. The first of what's scheduled for 12 rounds of World Heavyweight Championship boxing, the WBC title. The man, the taller of the two, Lennox Lewis, the champion, making his 4th defense of the title he won in perhaps some controversial circumstances, but he's defended successfully 3 times. And Oliver, the Atomic Bull McCall, who's in the black trunks with the gold trim down the side, is expected to be a very worthy challenger. Lewis coming in at exactly 17 stones, and McCall 16.5 stones and just about a quarter of a pound. And Lewis, some 3 inches taller, has a considerable reach advantage, but McCall has been in with a lot of very good opponents, including Tony Tucker, the man against whom Lewis made his very first defense in Las Vegas in May of 1993. The last time Lewis was in this ring was to defeat Gary Mason for the British and European heavyweight titles. Gary Mason somewhere at ringside, making his comeback and wondering, will he ever get to fight at this level again, and will indeed he ever get to fight Lennox Lewis? So the taller champion, Lewis, and he really needs a big win. He's not still terribly highly rated by pundits across the pond in the United States of America, whereas Oliver McCall certainly is rated as #1 challenger by the 3 major governing bodies of world boxing: the WBC, the WBA, and the IBF. And the man who was the former sparring partner for Mike Tyson, Oliver McCall, relatively unknown in this country, is expected to give Lennox Lewis a very hard fight, and if he rips in any more right hands like that to the body of Lewis, then those predictions will be completely correct. Lewis tends to start very tentatively. He did just that in his last title defense against Phil Jackson in Atlantic City in May of this year, before getting to grips with the challenger then and winning the fight in the 8th round. He does throw a very good right hand, Oliver McCall, and Lewis will have to watch that. He tends to drop his left occasionally. Lewis trying to work behind the jab. That's rather wild by McCall. Perhaps wishes to pressurize the champion to get the fight over with as early as possible. McCall very heavily muscled, very strong, and reckons he's in the best condition of his life. Good right hand, a good slicing right by the champion. And that's the first sign we've seen of that strong punch by Lewis. Well, what an opening first round. And while the Wembley Arena is by no means packed to capacity, there's a tremendous atmosphere. Lennox Lewis, a little bit of work being done just underneath his left eye.
Okay. Stay with your jab. That's the key. Stay on the stick. Keep in the circle. When he's inside, try to catch him with the uppercut coming in.
Final instruction then to Lennox Lewis. An interesting first round with both men letting a little bit go from the armory, but there's plenty more still there, one suspects. And Lewis working again behind that jab. He's got very fast hands for a big man, very athletic. Lewis unbeaten, remember, after 25 fights. Oh, he's got him. Oh, Lewis walked into a right hand, and that was the sucker punch that they worried about. And Lewis staggers, and the referee has decided it's all over. My goodness, what an upset. And Lennox Lewis's career must now be in tatters. Oliver, the Atomic Bull McCall, the 29-year-old from Chicago, has stopped Lennox Lewis, the WBC Heavyweight Champion of the world, in the 2nd round. McCall says, I told you so, I told you so, reminiscent of Muhammad Ali 3 decades ago. And Oliver McCall and his entourage cannot simply believe it themselves. It was a right hand delivered with startling ferocity and startling speed, and Lennox Lewis dropped the left almost imperceptibly and walked straight onto it, the classic sucker punch, and look at the difference in the two corners. Lewis cannot believe it, and his hopes perhaps of a unification title with Michael Moorer, a rematch with Riddick Bowe, and who knows, Mike Tyson expected to come out of prison and a fight in the offing, and Lewis simply cannot believe it, because at the moment that would all seem to be completely gone. Pandemonium here in the Wembley Arena, and Lennox Lewis counted out with less than a minute of the second round gone. The crowd can't believe it. It was a tremendous punch. They hug, and Lewis is smiling. Well, his lip is very badly cut, and that really bears testimony to what was a cracking shot. And the father of 6 children, the 29-year-old from Chicago, has done what nobody has ever done before and has stopped Lennox Lewis, and what a time to do it.
In the first round, I was throwing a couple of jabs, wanting him to load up with the right hand then. He saw me wanting him to load up with it. He loaded up with it one time, and I missed him with it. I skipped him, but I missed him. But then I said, okay, if I touch him up a little bit, he's going to get desperate. I knew the second round. I knew he was going to load up with the right hand, and I was practicing all day long in practice. I knew when I was going to roll the right hand, and he's going to be right on my right side. Just come through with a straight right hand, which was a picture perfect punch.
It was who got in their right hand first, and Oliver McCall got in a great right hand. I felt the referee kind of stopped the fight a bit premature. I'm heavyweight champion. I was heavyweight champion in the world, and I should have that respect.
You've got to pick up the pieces, and I'm sure you'll want to do that as soon as possible. So even at this stage, I mean, can you contemplate a fairly quick return to the ring?
Well, I like to go home and, you know, this thing can relax for a while before I make that decision.
Yeah. An awful lot was actually riding in this fight. There had been talk of a unification with Michael Moorer, the prospect of Mike Tyson coming out, and I suppose many dreams, certainly if not shattered, have been put on hold.
Yes, they have. You know, I may be down, but I wasn't out.
I really wanted a hard fight. To me, the fight wasn't really getting on because I really didn't get hit, and I really wanted to actually get hit so I could really pour it on, but it didn't come to that. It was easier than I thought, but I'll take it. I'm going to have some hard fights ahead, and I'm looking forward to them. And as of course, again, I come out the ring like I always done every fight I ever came through, not going to the hospital, not cut, thank God.
I think that Oliver's future is very bright. When Mike Tyson is released from custody, we now know who he will fight. He'll be fighting a couple of guys getting a warm-up, but he will be fighting Oliver for the WBC champion. So that has removed a lot, and it's a very, very bright future. And we're going to go out there and build up England, because I love England, and I think it's just so wonderful. The people have been so hospitable, so gracious, that we want the fans, and they're the best fans in the world, by the way. They have sent Mike Tyson more mail from England than any other country in the world, you know, including America. So it's really great, you know what I mean? So we want to bring the best shows here to England, and so Oliver wants to come back and defend the crown.
We've been talking to our friend at the moment, Mr. Duff, and you know, I think Frank Bruno's on the agenda. Good old Frank's on the agenda. You know, it'd be a great fight. But, you know, we've got some things to sort out. There's some obligations that we believe to us have got to be honoured by Mickey, and if he honours them, Frank Bruno will get a chance.